Yo, what's good? Today is May 25th, 2023. Swerve.TheDip coming at you. We got a real quick PLSX TA video here. And I got some interesting things to show you guys because, as we know, PLSX is in its first month. And as things get shaken out, more so people getting shaken out, we're going to take a look and see where does that leave people who believe, who understand how these markets go, how money flows in and out, and where are the opportunities? How do they set themselves up, and how do you take advantage of them? And so, with that being said, now is the time to get interested. And so, let's get it. We got to go ahead and jump over. And so, what we'll do is we'll come over to the deck screen really quick, pop up the chart for Pulse X, and we are good. And then so now we're going to take a look here and see PulseX from a larger view than typically than what most people are. Most people are on the 5 and 15-minute chart. As PulseX gets older, as these coins start to mature, especially in the ecosystem, we want to start hopefully looking at the 4-hour chart, then the daily chart. But then once we are months out, then we want to specifically look at the monthly and weekly for the rest of the time. That's how we get a good sober look. We're not going to be swayed back and forth on small movement price actions, especially if you say that you're going to be an investor for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So with that being said, let's take a look. Now, everybody's happy here. Post X, yep, let's get it. Woo, price going up. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. But when it comes down to this portion here where we go, man, everybody's kind of getting a little scared here, right? We have the hex and the e-hex pair liquidity pool basically being taken away for now. A lot of talk about that. That's probably for another video. But let's take a look at the price action, because at the end of the day, price is what matters. And your purchase price, your buy-in price, is one of the most important things as an investor. And then so for me, this is not financial advice. This is kind of what I'm looking at, how I'm evaluating this move here to the downside. It's pretty easy to see. So we had a nice move going from, these lows, right, all the way to the top. So we had a beautiful 14x. Okay, cool. Now, what happens from there? Now, when you go up that fast, it's like a wave. You go in, then you gotta rush back out, right? And so it's just a drawback from a big wave of money coming in. 50% drawback. I know a lot of people are like, man, I wish I was able to buy it cheaper. Well, here's your chance. And so let's take a look a little bit deeper, and we're gonna take a look at the volume profile. So what does the volume profile tell us over here on the right side? Really quick, let's make a small adjustment so we can see things just a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and bring that out just a little bit more. Let's make some adjustments. Yep, I'm doing it live. All right, cool. So now we can see that a little bit clearer. We have a lot of people that bought that top. Of course, so people who bought down here, all we're going to do is go ahead and shake and bake them. This is a whale game, right? People who've been doing this for a long time understand that, hey, when a lot of people are rushing out the market, that's when you want to start giving them sell side pressure. And then they start to rethink their decisions, and then they just exit real quick because they don't understand what's really going on. And so you can see a lot of people are buying us up back here at this point, the point of control. And so there's a couple of things that we can look at. We have two passes here in this area. So you take a look at this clump of price action here, and this clump of price action here. Let's go ahead and circle those, and you can kind of see now we have a lot of volume being had at this level. Now, if we want to kind of dig a little bit deeper, I really want to take a look and say, okay, well, what is the Fibonacci telling us? Really quick, let's put a price level here. I think this level here is a solid DCA. My opinion, that's actually what I did this morning. I feel good about it because it's showing me some things from many different angles, telling me the same story. And that's what you're always looking for when you're doing TA confluence. We don't have any moving averages yet, right? As we mature, we're going to start throwing those on. But something that we can use right away is the MACD and the RSI. So coming off of any downturn, okay, 50%. That sounds pretty juicy, right? Now, what does the MACD show us? The MACD here at the bottom, what is it showing us? It's showing us that this point here was the most bearishness. And then we start to trend a little higher. But one thing that you'll notice, right? If we come here, track that cursor, right? Track the cursor in that vertical line all the way down to the MACD. Here's when we hit the lowest in the MACD. We start to recover with the MACD, but now we come lower with price as the MACD comes higher. So what does that tell us? Bullish divergence. Just like how we had a situation where we had the highest point in the MACD here, and then price continued to go higher, and then we went ahead and had the bearish divergence there. So now let's just talk about a little bit more stuff. So we have this RSI here up top. Same thing showing us the bullish divergence. The lowest point of the RSI is this level here. And then as you can see, price continued to dip. RSI is not as low, now showing just a moderate recovery. People are finding value at this price level. We got 4 zeros, 7.9, and we're actually crossing over to 4 zeros and 8. So that's below the sacrifice rate. Sacrifice rate is up here at 3 zeros and a 1. So this is still a discount compared to the people who bought PulseX a year and a half ago for sacrifice. And so, I think the biggest thing is to, check and see, okay, what does your bag look like? Did you get a chance to sacrifice? You still have an opportunity to beat those sacrifices at a price point where you're starting to see a little bit of sustainability as we low key, you can really kind of start to tell as we zoom in here, we are no longer in this trend of just going straight down. We're starting to form some sideways action and a little bit of recovery. I don't know if you can notice that small tidbit. These are things that you want to start noticing as you start to look at these charts. And then, so one last thing, if we pull a Fibonacci retracement, and then so we're going to do from the full move, we're going to go all the way from that bottom, all the way from the beginning of price down and kind of hit that point up top. And so what you see is we drop down to that first level, the natural level of any bullish uptrend. You're gonna have some drawbacks. So the first natural level to come and pop down to is this level right here, this 0.236, and that's where we're sitting right here. And then so the next level that I'm going to be looking for, if we continue to struggle, right, we're going to start to see that this volume doesn't continue to kind of pop out in this area here. So let me get this for you. So how do you know that things are going to sustain themselves upwards? You start to slowly see this point of control move over and start to kind of create some volume here. This level is going to come higher. That's how you know things are sustaining. If you don't see that happening, then we may pop down a little lower. So what level would that be? And that's going to bring us down to that 382, and then this would be an incredible buy opportunity if it happens. I think the likelihood is probably about like 60% to the upside, 40% to the downside. And one thing that you'll notice is that's kind of the price where things really, really got going pretty constructively, right? This was a lot of volatility, a lot of people trying to jam money in, but once you kind of see this chart moving up constructively, that's something to think about. And then so that's where that level is, 4 zeros and a 4. That would be really truthfully, I think, one of the best prices in the short term. We're going to see how things play out in a month, 2 months. Just looking at the liquidity that's tied up in Pulse and PulseX, people are still interested. They're still active. And so there's a lot of people with dry powder on the sidelines ready for a good purchase price. So what would that look like to the downside? That would look like almost a 70% reduction from the all-time high as of currently. So, typically people start to lick their chops when things get 50 and 60% down. And so 66 to, maybe 70% down, that would be an incredible, incredible opportunity, especially with something that is trending up. And then so this is just the first dip out of many that's going to come. And then so how do we evaluate this? We evaluate this with reacting, not predicting. And so we're just looking at some of these signals here, some of these things that we can look at on the hourly charts to kind of help us out here. And then so I'm going to continue to watch this basin. I've done my DCA for the day. We will see what happens after this, but I definitely got a little bit more dry powder because we want to get some juicy prices lower down here. So with that being said, nice quick TA video for y'all. Let's pop back over to StreamYard. Boom. All right, cool. So less than 10 minutes. Appreciate you guys' time. And without further ado, I'm going to have to catch you later.